Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the world of the Pygmy people. These incredible communities have lived in the heart of Africa's rainforest for centuries, and their lives, traditions, and history are truly fascinating. So, sit back, relax, and let's explore their world together. The Pygmies are known for their short stature, but there's so much more to them than just that. They're some of the oldest inhabitants of Africa, living in places like Cameroon, Gabon, and the Central African Republic. For thousands of years, they've survived and thrived in the dense forests, making use of every resource around them. Their small size actually gives them an advantage in the thick jungles, allowing them to move easily through the trees and underbrush. But it's not just about how they look, it's about their deep connection to the land they call home. Now, how did the Pygmies end up in these jungles? Well, they've been living in these regions for thousands of years, long before any colonial powers or big cities were on the map. Their ancestors knew the forest like the back of their hand, and they passed that knowledge down from generation to generation. The Pygmies aren't just survivors. They're experts at navigating one of the toughest environments on Earth. Their daily lives are built around the forest. They hunt, gather, and live off the land, using tools like spears, bows, and arrows to catch food. But they don't just rely on hunting. They also have an amazing understanding of the plants around them. Many Pygmies know which herbs can heal wounds, treat illnesses, or soothe pain. They've got an incredible bond with nature that's at the heart of everything they do. But what really stands out about the Pygmies is their sense of community. They live in small, tight-knit groups, and everyone pitches in to make sure the community survives. Whether it's hunting, gathering food, or just telling stories around the fire, everyone plays a part. The elders, in particular, are highly respected, and they're the ones who pass down stories, songs, and wisdom that keep the culture alive. It's all about working together and respecting the land and each other. Unfortunately, life hasn't always been easy for the Pygmies. Over time, outsiders, from colonial rulers to modern governments, have pushed them off their land, forcing many to leave the forests. They've also faced prejudice and discrimination, often being treated as primitive by people who don't understand their way of life. But despite all this, the Pygmies have kept their traditions alive, and they continue to fight for their rights. Their music and dance are key parts of their culture. Pygmy music is famous for its catchy rhythms and unique harmonies. When they come together to celebrate, you'll hear drums, rattles, and beautiful vocal melodies echoing through the jungle. Their songs tell stories, mark special occasions, and even communicate with the spirits they believe live in the forest. Music is like a lifeblood for the Pygmies. It connects them to each other and to the world around them. Speaking of spirits, let's touch on the Pygmies' beliefs. They practice animism, meaning they believe that everything in nature has a spirit, from the trees and animals to the very land itself. Shamans, or spiritual leaders, help the community stay in harmony with these spirits. They guide the people, offering wisdom and protection through rituals and ceremonies. But, as we mentioned earlier, times are changing. Some Pygmy groups have moved out of the forest in search of new opportunities, while others have had to deal with the impacts of modern life encroaching on their traditional ways. This shift hasn't been easy, and many Pygmies face challenges like poverty, discrimination, and a lack of access to healthcare or education. Even though they've adapted, they still face an uphill battle in getting the recognition and rights they deserve. And yet, through all these challenges, the Pygmies continue to hold on to their culture and way of life. There are organizations and activists who are working alongside the Pygmies to fight for their land, their rights, and their future. The Pygmies' resilience is inspiring, showing that no matter how difficult life gets, their spirit and connection to their ancestors and the land will never fade. The situation with tribes like the Pygmies is really thought-provoking. Modern life has, in many ways, dominated them, not just physically by taking over their land, but also culturally. We often view indigenous communities like the Pygmies as primitive or outdated, without truly understanding their value or way of life. Over the years, they've faced discrimination, exploitation, and pressures from colonization. And today, they're being pushed further to the margins. Many of their traditions are threatened by urbanization, climate change, and the globalized world. Will the Pygmies vanish as modern life continues to expand? It's hard to say. The pressures they face are real, but what's equally real is their incredible resilience. Despite the challenges, they continue to hold on to their culture, and their communities are working hard to preserve their way of life. However, it's up to us, the global community, to help preserve these cultures. If we keep pushing them aside, there's a real risk they might disappear. But if we listen, learn, and respect their knowledge and traditions, we can ensure they have a place in the world today and in the future. In the end, the Pygmy people are more than just a group of people living in the forest. They're a living testament to the strength of culture, community, and nature. Their way of life reminds us that there's still so much we can learn from the world around us. And while the Pygmies face challenges today, their legacy continues to grow stronger. Thanks for joining us on this journey into their world, a world of resilience, connection, and deep respect for the land that has sustained them for generations. If you enjoyed learning about the Pygmies and want to explore more fascinating stories, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Port Light. Stay tuned for more exciting content. We'd love for you to join us again soon. Thanks for watching.